whole lot of your time, guys. I know you've been here for a while, but I think I usually use this training for this is some big boy training, some big boy and big girl training. So we'll do a little bit of big boy. Everybody got tough skin? Yeah. Okay, so I always like to be very transparent in my trainings and tell you the bad and the ugly. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why most of you will not be successful. That doesn't sound too good, does it? No. Give 3 reasons why most people, let's not say you, most people will not be successful in not only this company, but any company that has a multi-level thrust to it, okay? And we're going to talk about that. So really, number 1, I want you to write this down. The number 1 reason, and you jump in whenever you want to, because I know you know all this. The number 1 reason why most people don't have the success they want to have is because of who's on their list. Okay, I always tell people to make a list. Okay, and if you hadn't done that, guys, shame on you. You want to get involved in this business, and if you haven't done it yet, and you've been in for 3 months or 6 months, doesn't really matter. But you need to make a list of 100 names to 200 names. Everybody knows 100, 200 people. Okay, that's the easy part. Darlena, anybody can make a list of 100, 200 people. Okay, but it's really whose names is on the list. Okay, so make a list of 100 names. I tell people 200 names. Now I'll use this illustration. Let's take Jeff and let's take Darlena. Okay, I want you to answer this question. Why is it that I can tell 2 people, and I do this all the time, to do the same exact thing? Jeff, you make a list. Darlena, you make a list. Okay, and they do it. Okay, they make a list of 100, 200 names. Okay, and I look at I look at these guys. They start at the same time. Okay, they pay the same amount of money, $79. Okay. So Jeff starts, his list, and Darlena makes her list, and I say, let's invite those people, and let's start building the business. Let's go forth, and let's move to the ranks. Let's go through CTC. Let's go to the region, the executive level, regional, and whatever. So in 30 days, well, let's just say, in a reasonable amount of time, I look at both of these guys. We're sitting back, and we're doing an evaluation of how they've been doing. And Jeff has done incredibly well. Okay, he's got a team of 200 people, and Darlena, I know it's not Darlena, but Darlena, you got involved, and I tell you guys, both of you, go out there and get 10 people. Okay, right? So they make a list, and they go and they recruit 10 people. Okay, Jeff recruits 10 people, Darlena recruits 10 people. Okay, but let's say in a reasonable amount of time, we evaluate the organization, and Jeff's team is now at 400. Okay, in the same amount of time, Darlena's team is at 20. Okay, how does that happen? I mean, they started at the same time. They paid the same amount of money. Jeff got involved. He put 10 people in. Darlena got involved. She put 10 people in. And now, in 60 days or so, let's just say 120 days, Jeff, your team is 400. Darlene's, your team is 20.
Quality over quantity.
Huh?
Quality over quantity.
There you go. That's it. It's not about the quantity at the beginning. It's about the quality. Okay, quality will get you quantity. And that's really what throws off most people, and that's why most people will not have success in direct sales, because of the quality of the list. It looks like you're doing the same thing, right? Jeff did the same thing as Darlena, but something differently happened in the process. In the process, something differently happened. It's the slight edge principle that Jeff Olson talks about, who was my mentor, who taught me 90% of what I know. Okay. He says it's the simple things that seem to make no difference in the act of doing those things, but compounded over weeks and months and years, it makes all the difference in the world. All the difference. Okay? So we've got these 2 people who have the same ability to get in the same company at the same time, and we have a drastically different result. Okay? It's the quality of the list. Okay? Now on Jeff's list, I told him the same thing. I said, okay, make a list. Let's grade the list. Let's qualify the list. And Jeff does exactly what I said, but Darlena does almost what I say. Okay, she made a list, but she didn't qualify and grade the people, and she didn't put the sharpest people at the top. On Jeff's list, he's got people who own businesses before. Okay, they've been in business before. He's got people who are self-started, motivated people. He's got people who have has clues that they might be successful because they have characteristics of successful people. Mm-hmm. Someone told me that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Right. So if you have success over here, you're probably going to have success over here. It can be transferable. Does that make sense? So Jeff put the sharpest people on the list. He graded and put asterisks by the people who were business owners, who've had business before. Jeff even had millionaires on his list. He had millionaires on his list. And, you know, I hate to put, Darlene would never do this, but we're just role playing. But Darlene was afraid to talk to the most successful people she knew. She knew those people. She knew those people. She knew her minister who had influence. Jeff put the most influential people on the list that he knew, okay? And those people translated into other influential people, right? And so we have a list of people that we know who needy on this side. They just need. They need the opportunity. They need to be able to make money because they really haven't done anything in other arenas to propel themselves into a place of power and influence. Does that make sense? Okay? But Jeff went out and talked to his minister. He talked to that millionaire who owns his own business in his neighborhood. He went out and talked to the most successful people. And guess what? Influential people know who? Other influential people. Okay? And so that translates on your genealogy into hundreds and thousands of people, right, versus, you know, this other list of people who need. They need. It's okay. I always say, go get the people who don't need and get the people who are powerful and come back and get the rest. Don't? Okay? And so I've seen it 1,000 times. And so, and I see that, and I saw it in my own self. The first time I got involved in the first network marketing company I got involved with, I had a sponsor. She says, I want you to invite some people to come to the meeting. I said, I can do that. She says, how many people are you going to invite? I said, I will have, what did I say? I would have 7 to 8 people. She kind of laughed. She said, 7, you're going to have 7 to 8 guests? See, I'll have 7 to 8 guests. She says, I don't know anybody that I've sponsored who've had 7 to 8 guests the first night out. But if you think you can do that, great. So the next week I came, and guess how many guests I had? 7 to 8 guests. Guess how many signed up? All of them.
7 to 8 guests.
All of them signed up. And I thought it was a pretty big shot. Now I had 7, 8 guests, and then 3 months later my team grew from 7 to 30 people, and then 3 months later my team grew from 30 to 29 people. You got that right? Yeah. 3 more months my team grew to 29 people to 25 people. I didn't think I was such a hot shot. And she says, look, the reason why you're not growing is because the people that you have put in the business.
Right.
And I was offended. I said, wait a minute, these are my church members. These are some good people. These are people, they work. People, friends. She says they might be good people, but they're not good business people.
Right.
I was offended by that. She says the reason why you're not growing is because you have influence with those people, but they don't have influence with anybody else.
Right.
And that hurt. Right. That was an aha moment. And I was mad for like 2 weeks. I didn't go to the meeting for 2 weeks. But I had to think about that. And I thought about that, and I said, she is absolutely right. It's real. So I had to change my circle to change my circle. Okay? If you want to change your circle, you need to change your circle.
That's right.
And so I started talking to people who had businesses, chiropractors. My chiropractor, I started talking to him. He came out. Guess what? He joined. Because business owners, they process things differently. Right? Yeah, anybody ever saw the show Shark Tank? Powerful show. Okay, it's all about these billionaires on the stage making evaluations and evaluating companies, and people come to them because they are billionaires. And notice on these shows, they don't take an hour or 2 hours. They don't say, you come back next week and I'll evaluate what your business is. They tell you in 5 minutes, don't they?
Right.
That's how people should evaluate this business in 5 minutes. We don't need an hour. If they're business owners, they will make a valuation of the company for $7 million. Right. And a lot of the business owners, the billionaires on that show, they will say, who have you done business with?
Right.
Okay, we do business with Sandals and Expedia and all these companies and Carnival Cruise Lines and Norwegians. Isn't that a clue?
Right.
That's how business owners evaluate. And so we have to